Hi guys, this is the Audiofool, and for today we're going to review the Audeze Mobius 3D headphones. So these are Audeze's first headphones created specifically for gamers, and what makes them special is that they're Bluetooth, they're planar magnetic, and they have head tracking technology. And all of that combined into a fun sound signature geared towards gamers. So that means enhanced explosions, gunshots, knives, arrows, cars, tanks, footsteps, and porn. So let's take a closer look. I got the Team Copper version. It looks futuristic. Mic, mute, power button, 3D button, with lots of wheels to satisfy the gamer in you. Comfort wise, I found it comfortable enough. Not as good as the Meze 99 Classics, but good enough for gaming for a couple of hours, like maybe a couple of levels of nerve-wracking, sweat-inducing Candy Crush. So going to the 3D effect, the head tracking technology is kind of cool. You can pan your head to the left, right, up, down, and the sound would remain where it should occur. Like for example, if there's a waterfall here in front and you turn your head to the right, the sound would be more focused here, so it's kind of cool. But on a music listening perspective, it's kind of distracting me. Like if I just turn my head, the soundstage just sort of changes or moves away. On a gaming perspective or a movie watching perspective, it can be a bit more useful, but I don't know. I don't think it will help a lot, since most of the time you're just watching the screen and your eyes are glued there, so you rarely look to your left or right. So I don't know about that, if it will be helpful, but I do realize that it could be a bit more immersive in some games. Like maybe if I listen to a recording of a concert and I pretend to talk to a pretend person in my left, the pretend soundstage would still be in front or to my right. I'm sort of confused. Anyway, it's still cool. It's fun to try out, but maybe it's not so useful after all in the end. But apart from these, there are also DSP modes that you can use, like enhancing the explosions, enhancing racing, enhancing footsteps. Yeah, that's a thing. So let's talk about the sound quality. For this review, I'm comparing it to the Sony WH1000XM2s. For movies, the Audeze can actually do 5.1 or 7.1 surround sound, but you have to do it with a USB cable, so that's what I did. One of my usual test tracks when gauging surround sound is the Matrix, particularly during the bullet time scene. So you should be able to hear the bullets come towards you and then to your side and then behind you. Comparing the Audeze to the Sonys, the Audeze was simply much more spectacular. It gave the illusion of the bullets whizzing past you and then behind you. Unlike the Sony, where it just felt that the bullet was fading in sound in your side. The Sony though had better bass extension. It has more rumble. It has more thicker bullet sound. But the Audeze has more bite in the bullets, in the gunshots. It also had a much wider soundstage and more spatial depth. So it was easier to locate the different sounds around you, and I guess that's why it was able to provide a better surround sound. I also tried it in Rogue One, a Star Wars story, at the Battle of Scarif scene where the Atat walkers start to rain down fire. The Sony had bass extension, lots and lots of bass, and it's rumbling and really fun. But with the Audeze, the lasers were more crisper and more lasery. Like I know what a real laser sounds like if they actually make a sound. I have a laser pointer, it doesn't make a sound. But if it did make a sound, I would want it to sound like what I hear in the Audeze. Anyway, the soundstage in the Sony was sort of enclosed, unlike the Audeze where the soundstage was just wide and you can feel that you're part of the battle, rather than the Sony where it feels like you're just spectating because you are watching a movie. In any case, there's no contest here, and I just simply prefer the Audeze for watching movies. In gaming, the results are similar. I played Mirror's Edge Catalyst. It's a futuristic first-person parkour game, and the Sony had more bass, but again, the soundstage was its limiting factor as it lacked the wideness and depth compared to the Audeze. The Audeze just made you feel you're there in the game, out there in the rooftops, running and jumping and sliding. And the Audeze made me feel like was a fast and agile male woman, while the Sony made me feel slow, made me want to go postal. The Audeze was just simply more immersive compared to the Sony's. Moving on to music, this time I used the Bluetooth LDAC connection, and for most of my test tracks, the Audeze had a larger soundstage and had more spatial depth. It was more holographic, or can I call it holo auditory? The Audeze was more revealing of the two, and it had more space between the instruments. The Sony's felt like you were listening to a recording, while the Audeze felt more like a live concert. The Audeze had a 3D feel, so you may prefer the Sony, but for me I preferred the Audeze over most of the test tracks. So to wrap up the comparison, I like the looks, comfort, and noise cancelling of the Sony, but the Audeze has better sound quality if you're not a bass hound. The Audeze retails for around $399 versus the Sony's $349, but it's worth it if you're doing a lot of gaming and watching a lot of movies. If you're doing a lot of traveling, or if your partner's a nag, then go for the Sony for the noise cancelling. What I like most about the Audeze is that they simply sound terrific. They're built for movies and gaming, so it has that fun sound signature that enhances explosions and footsteps and heavy breathing. It's also one of the more comfortable headphones I tried, although not to the level of the WH1000XM2 Classics. It's still very comfortable. What I don't like about it is that it's kind of busy for me. Lots of buttons, although I do realize that it may be nice to those hardcore gamers with the 100 button mouse and the cup holders and the lotion. And another thing I don't like is that the 5.1 and 7.1 needs to be USB wired. What I hate about it is that I just feel the head tracking thing is a gimmick, and it could have reduced the cost. But I must admit that it does up the immersion factor. And price-wise, it's one of the more expensive gaming headphones out there. If I were a gamer, I would probably not have a lot of budget if I'm not a pro.
and I would probably spend it better on the video card or on the screen, on the monitor. But yeah, if I need a Bluetooth headset for gaming or movies, I'd probably get the Audeze Mobius because I've been gamer fooled. It's gimmicky, but it still sounds terrific. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and if you have any comments or suggestions, just write them down below. Please subscribe if you haven't. Thank you for watching.